Hey everyone, Social Solipsist here for another episode of 52 and 52, and this week I am taking a look at Smash and Grab, stylized as Smash+Grab, a game from the company that was formerly known as United Front Games, or so the rumor has it. In a way, this is a post-mortem because they had a free weekend this weekend where I played their new game, Smash and Grab, and uh, earlier yesterday or today, or I don't even remember what day it was. It soon thereafter, I think before the free weekend was even up, they pulled the game from Steam completely. It is not able to be played. It is not able to be purchased. And all the rumors are that United Front Games, who made this and also made a number of other things, the highest profile of which was Sleeping Dogs, they did almost in whole, that the company is now defunct, which is kind of a bummer. It's never good to hear that a company goes down the shitter. Just because more than anything else, you hate to have, people lose their jobs and stuff like that, especially if they were making, even decent content. And I've spoken before on not really loving Sleeping Dogs, but that doesn't mean it didn't have its good points, and it doesn't mean that the people who worked on it didn't do a pretty darn good job all around, and it didn't have worth, I guess. So bummer to hear that. We'll see how that plays out in the next couple of weeks, I suppose. But now let's talk about this game that is no longer available. It was released on early access for, I believe, $15. Again, it had a free weekend from Thursday to Tuesday and somehow didn't even make it that long. It was only released, I think, a week or two ago, maybe. So yeah, short lifespan on this. So basically, it is a 3 versus 3 third person arena type game, with your typical game modes like capture the flag and deathmatch and that sort of stuff. Before I get any further, this content, or this I didn't actually get the chance to take any video of the game because I planned to buy it and then I didn't get the chance to. This game was this footage rather is pulled directly from the Smash and Grab PR publicity channel, so I'm just using their footage, by the way. So basically, yeah, this game is 3v3, but each player has a team of guys on their side of AI. You've got yourself, who you control directly, and then 4 guys in your kind of squad, a lieutenant, and kind of 3 grunts. The various people that you pick to be on your team, both your own character, your lieutenant, and which type of grunts you get, can be chosen, and they specialize in different things. And how do I summarize this in full? Basically, the main idea is to, at the end of whatever game mode you're playing, have the most money. You are in some sort of dystopian future, or perhaps it got tones of a game show almost, where you've got squads of guys coming in, and the main objective is to get money by breaking into stores and looting, and then you get some small amounts of money as well from killing your opponents for their bounties that they get for based on their performance, I believe. And then there, in some of the game modes, such as the capture the flag, you also get a big chunk of money if you return the flag or some such thing. There are a number of power-ups across the map that you can pick up, everything from damage boosts, movement boosts, that sort of thing, health boosts. And you can also, with each successive round, sort of within a single match, I'm not sure if it's based on time. I think it's just purely based on time. They're basically rounds where additional objectives will open up after every few minutes. There's a countdown timer at the top of the screen that shows you when that happens. new stores open up to loot, and new stores open up to break into to get better weapons. And each time you pick up a weapon, or you can pick up weapons for your squad as well, but each time you pick up a weapon, you can then upgrade that weapon using using materials that you get from looting the normal stores. That you, in addition to the money you get just from looting them, you get materials. So you can target certain stores to get the materials that you need for the certain type of upgrade that you want. And that can be something like fire that does damage over time, electric that has a chance to stun. There's one that makes breaking into stores much faster, which and it all depends. Your choice really depends on, one, of course, what resources you have available to you, but also a lot of your tactics are dictated on what character you've chosen, and therefore what your sort of specialty is. I was mostly playing a character that was sort of lightweight and quick, who's not super well equipped for combat, but unless you get in, get out quickly, but is very good at, better at looting and getting away quickly and that sort of thing. And I equipped my my team in the same fashion for the most part. Both you and your lieutenant also have a number of abilities that you can activate that are on a cooldown, similar to sort of MOBA style. The character I was playing had, if I remember correctly, I had a group one that could speed my whole team up for a short amount of time, a spray can that I could stun and set fire to people in like an arc in front of me, and then a healing flare that I could use to heal people within an area. And there are quite a number of different, or there were, I really need to use the past tense on this. There were a number of different, there were some various abilities. It wasn't, they weren't all the same. So yeah, the differences between characters were definitely significant. It wasn't purely cosmetic or anything like that. I'm not sure whether they ever had any plans for microtransactions or anything like that. $15 is a pretty low entry fee that I probably would have willingly paid, purely just because of the kind of goofy fun. It wasn't the most the best handling game in the world, or the best looking game in the world, or the best performing game in the world. But for some goofy fun, especially if you played it with friends or something like that, I'm sure. Adding the whole looting factor to it added enough of a new thing to it to make it a bit of fun. And I'm sort of bummed to see that this disappeared. I mean, I didn't get to play it as much as I wanted to. I don't get to play it anymore or buy it. I don't get to support the game. I am curious to see what comes of it. I have a feeling that this will not die. This game is done. I mean, it says it's in early access, but for all intents and purposes, that's basically just a beta test of saying, listen, they said we need some feedback, and we need to, get people on our servers to stress test them and that sort of thing. This game never gave any indication that it wasn't done. Beyond there were already like 10 characters in the game, and they had a few that were grayed out that said coming soon, to total out to like 16 or something like that. But that doesn't warrant it being in early access, at least certainly not these days. But even by my fairly strict standards of what qualifies as being done enough for me to dip my toes in it to begin with. Yeah, I mean, like I said, I'd be surprised if this died. I know that United Front had some ties with Square Enix. I mean, obviously Square Enix published Sleeping Dogs. This was self-published as far as I'm aware. And something tells me either they or somebody else will pick up the property, pick up the assets, and finish it, because yeah, it'd be a shame to see this go and just disappear. If not that, then maybe it got enough exposure, and maybe the closure of the company will get enough publicity to, get, maybe if nothing else, maybe it'll get customizers and modders out there to, hack together the files to make something playable, that can be distributed in a questionable fashion, but might let the game survive, and be played and appreciated by somebody, even if nobody gets money for it. Although, again, it's a shame. I do think I would have paid money for it, and I sort of hope it doesn't die here. The worst thing that could happen, though, is if some other company picked it up and tried to sell it for $60, because it is not that kind of game. But 15, maybe 20, maybe even 30 for some people. It's a little niche, but a worthwhile play. Yeah, the whole thing kind of bums me out a little bit. Again, not perfect, but certainly had some promise. And it's a shame that a bunch of people lost their jobs. So, well, that was that, I suppose. Normally this is where I would call the video, but I do want to address a couple of personal things and things on the channel. I am in the process of moving over the next couple of weeks, so my plan is to have videos prepped in advance, but we'll see what happens. And hopefully the things that I mentioned in that sort of question and update video that I put out solo, hopefully some of those things will actually be able to happen in about 2 weeks or so, depending on how things go. So yeah. Anyway, I've been the Social Solipsist. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you guys next time.